himself, Sona Haria and Jafar Mushunu. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. I mean, I seriously wish I could do some of the moves you pull off, Jafar. Good stuff.
Thank you.
But I think the key thing is starting early.
Yeah.
When you start as a kid, for sure, you'll be able to do it later on in life.
It's easier because of center of gravity.
Of course. Now, let's go back a little bit before we get into skating and the after-school activities. Very interesting sport to have picked for Kenya, something we haven't seen. Why, Sona?
Why did I pick it?
Yes.
I have two children, and my son is extremely hyper.
Okay.
So instead of watching TV all day long, I thought, let's go out and learn something new.
Right.
And he started skating, rollerblading, and I thought I'd do it as well because it was something I'd never done. It's exciting, it's addictive, and once you start, you won't stop.
Right. And how old are your children?
My son is 10, and my daughter is 7.
All right. So you started early on, and now they're hooked, aren't they?
When they started, it was easy for them. When I started, I mean, I fell a lot, but it's a nice pain because you know you're getting something out of it.
Excellent. Jafar, this is something that you have done way before you were even, you partnered up with Sona. But tell us why you love this sport so much and where you actually learned it.
Okay, at the beginning, to me it was not it was not that quite interesting to me. We started at the hood, downtown where we used to stay, down in Kirinyaga Road. Now, at that time, we only had one leg, one side.
Yeah.
So we were like...
You only had one skate, one rollerblade.
One rollerblade.
Wow.
Now, we were like stepping on one side, pushing with one leg. Then you have to balance. So then there came a time, there were some guys who had some rollerblades. So they gave us, they had 2 wheels actually, 2-2 instead of 4-4.
Okay.
Now we were like 10 guys, so we had only 2 pairs. So we were like sitting, 2 guys are going for a round, then we wait for them to come back. So we started that way, then we got rollerblades from Gikomba, Gikosh.
Okay.
Then after that, it came up a roadshow. Then someone approached us, told us if we can skate on the road, do for them a roadshow.
Right.
It was, I think, about Alvaro, something like that.
Okay.
And then we said we can do it, we can try it. So while we were doing that, so we saw, this thing, it's that good. Because, they paid us, and it was like only for like 3 hours.
Right.
And it brought money. So we're like, this
nice.
thing can make
money. So you're like, kumbe, this fun stuff can actually make us some money.
Yeah.
All right. What I really find interesting is that this sport has definitely not been explored in Kenya. And now that you guys have taken it another level, and not only are you just doing it for fun or even for sport, you've introduced it to schools.
Yes.
How's that working?
How
many schools?
I have about 40 schools in Nairobi.
Wow.
I have over 20 schools in Mombasa, and we're introducing Kisumu from September.
Nice.
I want as many children, out there to target as many children as I can.
Right.
Because the younger we start and the more children we get, later on we will have a Kenyan team for inline skating, for roller hockey.
Okay.
We have to start off young.
Right.
We start with schools because it's easier, because parents drop the kids, they can do everything at school, because people don't have time with the traffic in Nairobi to drive around all over Nairobi to, do other activities.
Right.
So we target the schools. I get a mixed reaction.
Okay.
A lot of international heads will say yes, because they've seen it. A lot of older heads will be like, okay, what is this sport all about?
Right.
This is just fun, but it isn't fun. It's a world championship sport. It's a recognized sport like tennis. It's just that people it's an extreme sport.
Right.
And it's harder for people to accept it. But it's an extremely safe sport, and it's a very physical, it's like tennis. You build a lot of stamina. You get healthier, which is, an amazing thing to do.
Okay. Now, for me, what I also I wanted to ask, and you've touched on that, is the extreme side of this sport. Any parent who looks at all the stuff that you have to put on your kids, we can see over there you have to put pads on them, and you've got to put, a helmet, and you've got to put knee pads, and you've got to protect them. So, of course, a parent looking at their little 4-year-old, they must worry. Jafar, do you have a lot of parents who worry about the extreme side of the sports and, of course, their children getting injured?
Yeah, they do actually before we get started. But once we get started and they see the way we're handling the kids and the way we're training them, they stop getting worried. Because, from where we started up to now, it's a long way. I can call it a long journey from where we started.
Right.
Because when this thing started, when we started training schools, most of the parents were not into it. because it's, okay, not locally in Kenya.
Right.
So they were like, this thing can break our kids' leg, they can break their necks, all that stuff.
And they're sort of justified in a way, yes?
Yeah.
To worry, yeah.
So what we had to do, it's like we tell them, okay, what we're going to do for you guys is give us like 5 minutes with the child. We try it out, you see for yourself. If he or she can agree, if you like it, and you see the way you're handling your kids, then we can continue. So
okay.
that's how we started. Then slowly by slowly, parents came to agree, and they liked it. By the
Now
most
it's
of them
picked
love
up.
it.
Very
Yeah.
interesting indeed. We were talking earlier with Sheila and Debal about after-school activities and why it's very beneficial for your child to actually not just sort of be a bookworm and not just for them to get, you know, stuck in the house playing video games and sort of being lazy. What we're starting to see is with modern technology, a lot of these young kids are starting to get way influenced by TV and video games. Why, for you, was it very important for you to inculcate this culture of activities after school?
It's like how you say a child should be well read. A child should be well exposed to everything that's available to them. And inline skating, I mean, it's a new sport. Why not learn it? It's like riding a bicycle. Once you learn, you're never going to forget it. So
Right.
it's a talent which you're going to keep forever. If you can inline skate and you go to an ice rink, you'll be able to ice skate. So, you know, I mean, it's just opportunity. I wish I had it when I was younger. I didn't. We did
Right.
other stuff. But at this day and age, you know, it's available. So teach your children all these new things. Make them healthier.
Right.
And, you know, give them something that they're never going to lose. It's like an education.
Exactly.
Yep.
Jafar, tell us about the kids, some of the kids you teach.
Okay, some of the kids that we teach, most of them, okay, like we start from 3 years old. Now
That's
most
very
of them,
young.
yeah, it's very young.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to control a kid who's a 3-year-old.
Right.
Okay, like now, from the experience that we have had, most of the kids that we train, most of them are not used to people. Okay, like they're not used to, I can say, like, let me use the word strangers. They're not used to strangers because they are mainly from school to the house, to
Okay.
at home. Now, when you get a child, the child, he or she is brought by the driver or the, let me call the house help.
Right.
The child is brought. When you're about to help the child to get ready, he or she starts crying. So you have to sweet talk the child.
I think I would cry too if you were going to put a helmet on my head and put all these pads and the fear of falling. I think I would cry, and I'm a full adult. How do you manage to sort of make them calm down and show them that it's going to be fun? And have you seen a lot of these children then, in terms of their confidence and in terms of their social skills with other children, have you seen these children actually get better?
Yeah, they do get better. Because, okay, like most of them, as I can remember, there was a time when we started this, parents started approaching us because it really helps in their, let me say, in their skills and their physicality.
Yeah.
Because there's also parents who are approaching us, like telling us now, because you guys are good in training skating, it really helps. Can you come and buy and start training my kid also to ride a bicycle and like do laps? Because the kid maybe is like all the time just sitting down eating, is going fat, all that stuff. So it really helps a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit more, the social aspect of why it's very important for parents to integrate their children with other children and using an activity such as rollerblading.
When they come for a class, obviously, parents are told to, you know, sit somewhere else. So children are left with other children. They watch, they learn, and they realize, oh, he can do it. I should be able to do it. So it builds their confidence, number one.
Right.
Then we hold races, you know, in a school every term, inter-school, like twice a year in Nairobi, twice a year in Mombasa. So that brings them into a, you know, into a place where everyone's competing now.
Okay.
And for a child to be able to compete, it's a hard thing, but they learn a lot. They learn that that you should accept, you know, defeat.
Right.
But you should try your best. So I think, you know, just being with other children makes them very confident.
Absolutely. Now, of course, parents who are watching must be thinking, you know, is it being done in my school? How much will it cost? So for you parents, if you're watching the show, I'd like to urge you to call in and connect with us on this conversation. You can contribute. As always, the numbers should be right there on your screen. And of course, we want to hear from you. And if you are maybe a principal or a head teacher in your school and you'd like one of these activities, this is a show for you. Go ahead and call in, and Sona and Jafar can answer any of your questions. For you, Sona, having started a business like this, risky, wasn't it? Were you sure that it was going to pick up or what?
I started it because I skate, and for me it was my passion, my hobby. I loved it. So it was never about the bigger. At that time when I started, it was just, you know, going out there and having fun.
Yeah.
So we started with one school, and then, you know, we slowly moved from school to school. But No, it was not risky. For me, it was just whatever I managed to do was enough.
Okay.
I have children, so obviously I wanted to work something, you know, that's flexible for me.
Yeah.
And this business is perfect because I work when the children work or at school.
Oh,
you know.
absolutely. How have you managed to grow the business to where you're starting to see an expansion to even outside Nairobi, to Mombasa, to Kisumu?
It was step by step, you know, go to one school, go to another school. So we did Nairobi, and then I thought, you know what, Mombasa doesn't have a lot of activities, and parents would come to Nairobi and come skating, and they would say, you know, please come there. And the same happened with Kisumu.
Right.
So I thought, you know, let's move and try it out, because I feel that there's nothing to lose.
Okay.
There's only gain.
Absolutely. Jafar, beginners, intermediary, and advanced.
Yeah.
I want to get to advanced one day.
I want to get to
But let
advanced
me
one
tell
day.
you, I would say that I'm a person who is into extreme sports. But mostly it comes to watching. And I do the GP cutting and everything. But if for a child, how long will it take them to get to an advanced stage? And for an adult, how long will it take? What are the differences?
For a child to get to an advanced stage. For a child, okay, if it's a 3-year-old, definitely we'll have to use like 10 lessons. Because
Okay.
we go with lessons or 10 sessions. But for like, okay, that's a 3-year-old.
That's about 10 hours.
No. That's like, 10 hours, but the lessons are not in one day.
Okay.
In different days.
Yes.
You can take it daily or once per week or twice per week. It depends with you how you want it. Okay, for let's go to a 6-year-old. 6-year-old, can he or she can take like 4 lessons or 3 lessons. That way, for her, it's easier to get to intermediate. Then in intermediate, because in beginners group,
Right.
we only train to get the balance and to get used to the rollerblades, because they're kind of heavy when you when you start skating, when you start putting on the skating shoes. So going into intermediate. In intermediate, that's where we train you how to glide, push your skates fast a little bit, then get to advanced, whereby that's where now you learn some skills, where to do some things called like crisscross, zigzags, figure eights, and all that stuff, and play some roller hockey.
Excellent. Now, let's talk about that, the growth of it. Because once they learn the basics of rollerblading and how to get around, then you can start getting fancy with your eights and your curves. But there's something to be said about this sport, because it's very, as you said earlier, globally recognized and is even being considered towards the Olympics, right? So let's talk about that. What kind of real sports can come out of this activity for your child?
We have speed skating, which is a world championship sport, and we have roller hockey. Speed skating, Kenya has a team and it goes out and, you know, competes internationally. Roller hockey is something very new.
Okay.
And Kenya doesn't, we're trying to form a team. We're trying to form a league as well in Kenya. But it'll take some time, but we're getting there.
You are getting there. Okay, Jafar, tell us about that. You started out with one skate from Gikosh, and now look at you trying to form a national team.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me how that actually happened, and what it means for Kenya to actually compete internationally in such a unique sport.
Okay, it really means a lot, because at that time when we started, things look like, okay, we are going nowhere.
Okay.
Because it was like, we're just falling down, getting scratches on our body, getting some bumpy. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yes.
So we thought, okay, we are going to go nowhere with this. So when we started training schools, actually it was like, we had only 3 schools at that time. The kids were not so many, so we were training like on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yes.
So we were also like, take cut. With time, things will change. So what we had to do, because we started skating a long time ago, so we started learning some skills.
Okay.
Because we normally like to do some shows also. We started learning some skills, how to entertain people. So when we go to schools, we go, show them, we do for them a demo.
Okay.
Whereby we do our skills, we entertain them a little bit. Definitely, they like it, because what we do, superb good, something nice, something fantastic.
Good stuff. And you're going to demonstrate it for us in a few minutes, aren't you?
I'll do
Okay.
that. I'll just do something short for you guys.
So now I have a question for you for one of our viewers. His name is Biko Wekesa. And he's saying, very interesting. I love this sport, but I've never had a chance to try. Is your club just for kids, or can adults learn too? And how does that work when it comes to cost?
We teach kids and adults. What we tell parents and children is, you know, try out one lesson, pay for one lesson, and then if you like it, you can always join it. And we have like packages, different packages,
Okay.
to make it affordable and easier for, you know, we provide all the equipment, so you don't need to come with anything.
Okay.
Just socks and come there.
All right.
And be ready to try it, you know.
Be ready to have fun
Yes.
and to try things out. Okay. Cost, definitely an issue. Rollerblades are not something that we actually find, you know, at Bata. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't easily find this stuff, and when you do, it's very expensive.
Very.
And of course, the classes. Break down the cost and the packages for me, please.
So what we do is we provide all the equipment. You do not need to buy anything. What a lesson costs 500 shillings. If you want to pay for 10, it costs anywhere from 4,000, 3,500. It depends now on. I try and make it affordable for everyone.
Right.
So we have a range from 3,500 going all the way up to 5,000 shillings.
For how many classes?
10 lessons.
Okay, so 3,500 for 10 lessons.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how much about a lesson?
350 a lesson.
350 a lesson.
Yes.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we want to try and get children to do it.
Okay. Now, in terms of the school, and I don't know if you know about this, but you know, how does that get then integrated into after-school activities? Do the parents pay the school directly, or can they pay you directly?
We have different agreements with the schools. Some schools will collect money on our behalf. Some schools will, you know, the parents will pay us directly. But the payment is, you know, it's flexible.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm very surprised at that. 350. I think I might take a class. I believe we have a caller on the line. Good morning, Lucy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Kobe.
How are you, Lucy?
I'm good. My name is Lucy.
Yeah, go on.
I was asking
Yeah.
how I want to learn how to skate, and I'm 23 years old.
Okay.
So how do I get in touch with Jafar and the other lady, so that, and also the money I'm supposed to pay, and where do we go for the training?
I like your questions, Lucy. I've just asked the same thing. Can you believe it's 350 a lesson?
What?
350 bob
350 per lesson, eh?
per lesson. Then you have to take 10 lessons. We're going to put their contacts up on our Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And you said, how old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
All right. What can you say to Lucy, guys?
Just contact us and come and join our club. That's it.
You can do
And
it.
I contact you so that you can tell me where to go for the training, yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You want to just do this for a hobby, for fun, yeah?
Yeah, for fun and for exercising. I was planning to join the gym, but now I think I've found another fun kind of an exercise.
Me too. I think I'm actually going to take lessons. Thank you for calling, Lucy. I'll see you maybe at our first lesson. Bye. Now, for me, I like that. I like the fact that, you know, this can be so much more other than just even for kids. You know, it can be for exercise. It can be a fun activity for your chama, for crying out loud. You don't have to just sit around and drink tea. I
actually started this as an exercise routine.
Okay.
I would do it with my sister-in-law, and thrice a week we would go on any road that we could find which was safe, and we would skate on it.
No way.
It is a great workout.
Yeah. And does it actually, no, seriously, does it actually help you lose
shrink
weight?
Here.
Really? Around
yes, you just shrink.
Rollerblades. How much are rollerblades?
10,000 shillings.
10,000.
All right. Now, let's talk about how then are you actually, if you're only charging 350 shillings a lesson, are you able to get your return when it comes to your equipment, when it comes to, of course, Jafar is just one of very many young men that you work with, isn't it?
Yes, one of my coaches.
Are you able to see a return?
Basically, for me, I want as many people to do it as the numbers is what I'm trying to get.
Okay.
So the bigger the number, yes, I can obviously cover the cost because rollerblades last a long time.
Right.
And, they don't wear out that easily.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It actually works out. All right. Jafar.
Yeah.
You're about to show us some interesting stuff. Okay, now first of all, these are the rollerblades. Rollerblades and skates are different, are they?
We have the
inline skates and quad skates are different.
Ah, I got it.
Inline skates are wheels in a line, and quad skates have 2 and 2.
Ah, okay. But you can do the same move, right?
Different.
Okay.
Different.
Now, Jafar, I want you to get up and show us some serious moves that you've been promising me that you'll show me. I don't even know how you walk around in those. All right. Now, you have some cones on the floor.
Yep.
All right. What do they represent?
Normally, we put cones, we go around with them.
Okay.
We go around with the cones a little bit.
Okay.
Then we do a little bit of zigzags.
Yes.
Then we do a little bit of figure eights.
Okay.
So
you're showing us the advanced, huh?
Yeah, advanced. Then we do it frontwards. Then you can still do it backwards.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
That's going round and round.
Okay.
Now, when you're going backwards, you have to only stay upright. You don't lean forward.
Ah.
Because if you lean forward, you might hit your forehead down.
Okay, so your body has to be in what position?
Upright. Just relax.
Upright like that?
Yeah.
You look too
And
relaxed.
don't lean back.
Don't lean back, don't lean forward.
Yeah.
Because you may fall.
Okay, that
All
was
right.
front or backwards. Then, this is called zigzags. Just round the cones a little bit.
Okay.
Another zigzags for you guys.
Nice.
Then this
That's
is
a
called,
zigzag.
Yeah, zigzag. This is a figure 8 or a part together.
Ah,
other
that's
words.
nice. Do that again.
Oh.
Ooh, fancy.
Now, what we love doing,
Yeah?
this is called a crisscross. I wish we
Ooh,
had so many cones.
fancy, Jafar. Look at you go.
Again,
Do that again, the figure 8.
oh, it's a crisscross.
It's a crisscross. This is a crisscross.
Yeah.
How long will it take me to learn that?
It depends with the interest that you have in it.
How long does it take an adult versus a child?
An adult versus a child.
Yeah.
For a child, it's more faster.
Okay.
Because you start
Yeah,
really
kids
live
are
with
just
young.
easy. They're
Yeah.
sponges. They can pick this stuff up. So now, for you, how long does it take you? Can you do any of these moves?
I can, but it took me a long time.
Really?
Yes, and
Yeah.
it was tough.
Okay.
Tiring, pain,
Yeah.
bruises, but
Really?
I did it.
Okay, if you can do it,
I
I think
also
anyone
brought
can.
a
All
hockey
right?
stick for you guys.
You brought a hockey stick for us.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be, you know, you want to take the sport to a national level. You want to create a national team, and hockey skating is totally a different sport. Show us the basics.
Okay. First, you'll have to learn how to dribble a ball with your hockey stick.
Okay.
Then after that, in hockey we have a lot of skills to do. Like, there's also chipping in hockey.
Right.
Yeah, wherever you have to lift the ball and pass it.
My
This-
goodness. Okay, I'm now learning some skills I can show off to Dibal. You know, Dibal pretends to be the main sports guy. All right. So basically,
Yeah.
it's just regular hockey on skates, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and also we also play ice hockey,
You also play ice hockey.
which is a tripanari.
Ah, nice. All right.
But we don't go there all the time.
Jafar, good stuff. I'm going to let you keep doing that. Sona, thank you very much for being here this morning.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely a pleasure. All right, viewers, I just want you to know that definitely this could be one sport. You're in front of my camera, Jafar. There you go.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, don't worry. I just want you viewers to know that this is definitely one activity that you cannot just let your child enjoy, but you can enjoy it with your child as well. Only 10 lessons, not as expensive as you thought. And of course, there's ways to keep safe for you and your child as well. We're going to put the contacts up on Facebook and Twitter and for you to have. But before we go, we're going to show you something really interesting. Have you been keeping up with politics? Here is Bullseye from the last week, which tells you a little funny side of what happened in our news. Take a look.